behind the former Florida star Amanda Lorenz, who plays for the Volts. Volts took 2 of 3 from the Blaze in their opening weekend series in Wichita, Kansas. Palacios 4 for 8 with a triple in the series so far. Takes that pitch on the inside corner for strike 1.
Blaze ended up salvaging a game in that series in Wichita. Volts looking good, scoring a lot of runs. Blaze needed to be able to avoid the sweep in Game 3 last night.
So all 4 teams with a win. I think early conversations we had before we got to Chicago were that it feels balanced. The league feels well distributed, and we'll see how that plays out. But overall, probably wouldn't be surprised to see any of the 4 teams in Tuscaloosa.
I mean, even you think about that Blaze Volts game, and Game 1 went extra innings. It was such a close game. Volts won that extra inning game with a Rachel Garcia complete game. She threw all 8 innings, the first game of the season, over 120 pitches that she threw.
And Mackenzie Clark, 3-run home run in the 8th inning. 3-2 from Odyssey, fouled straight back by Palacios. Howard Dobson, the head coach of the Talons, left LSU's staff prior to the 2025 season after 13 years there as an assistant coach. Had some legends in Baton Rouge, AJ and Aaliyah Andrews. That's to Nets, and she helps out Skylar Wallace after the leadoff air, the double play.
Yeah, Sierra Sacco with her speed at first base, like she was running on the pitch. Hit and run, or maybe Howard Dobson just gave her the steal just on the move on this pitch, and then easily turns into a double play to help Odyssey Alexander out after that error that led off the inning.
Devin Netz, a rookie out of Arizona, the Big 12 Player of the Year. A 2-way player there, pitched and hit for Caitlin Lowe and company. Career years doing both, but she has a tremendous glove at first base. Now Ali Aguilar in her second year playing with Athletes Unlimited, and she grounds out to Nets as well.
Will work curve, rise, and changeup. That changeup, she will throw it a lot. You'll see it pop in there. It's one off, if not her most favorite pitch to throw.
Zirkle takes a mammoth hack at that second pitch.
And there's the change. 58 miles an hour, dropping it down, and that one had some great down movement to it as well.
Two and one. We talked about Athletes Unlimited starting in 2020. So Morgan Zirkle has played all 6 years of Athletes Unlimited's existence, but past iterations of Athletes Unlimited have had that individual leaderboard, and at the end of the season have crowned an individual champion. And we've got a handful of them here. Bubba Nichols has been crowned champion before, Odyssey Alexander. So when we talk about 5th, 6th year, it's with Athletes Unlimited. It's the first year with everybody in the AUSL. Skylar Wallace, the NFCA National Player of the Year in 2023 for Tim Walton at Florida. Hit .447 that year with 19 home runs and 55 RBIs. She's also a stolen base machine. One of the best athletes in the league as a whole. Sits on this pitch to deep left center field, long run, and caught at the wall by Sierra Sacco. Rookie range.
Hard out. I thought with how well struck that was, it had a chance to get out of here because of the wind, but now all of a sudden it's actually blowing more toward right field. But you got to pay attention to the wind because it always changes here on this field, the direction it's blowing.
Yeah, we welcome you to Rosemont. This is how it goes here. O'Hare International Airport right across the street. So you get constant flyovers. That's always nice as a viewer here. Bubba Nichols Camarena trying to loft this one into the jet stream deep to center. Sacco back, and it's gone. one. Bubba's second of the season. She's starting to heat up quick.
You can see too after the strikeout how the next couple of hitters went up looking early in the count, and Bubba Nichols can drive the ball so well up the middle of the field and toward the right side. Lets that pitch get deep, pitches more up in the zone, and she just makes Mariah Lopez pay for the fact that that curveball was more up in the zone. She gets all of it and gets the Bandits on the board first.
Second for Nichols Camarena in as many games. Ooh, that runs inside and gets Aaron Koffel.
The right fielder, number 2.
Rarely do you get to see teams really develop into a certain culture or a certain team dynamic, because when we get to the college season, they've been in practice, they've been in fall ball, and it's been building to that moment. But here, training camp started about 13 days ago. Some of these athletes arrived after that. I mean, we are really getting to see roles and teams develop throughout this first weekend, which has been really unique.
Well, and I think, too, the players and fans, as you mentioned, AU started back in 2020, and the players and fans are ready for this more traditional format to come back, where the players are going to be staying on these teams and they'll be able to build that culture, build that connection. And you're right, they're going to have to do it pretty quickly, because it's not a month spring training or training camp that they went through. It was just 10 days, and then games got going. So a lot of bonding, I think, was done watching Women's College World Series games with their teammates. There's a lot of games to watch.
One of the coolest moments I think we saw after the Game 1 win, this is the first win in AUSL history. The Bandits came together after that and huddled up, and Skylar Wallace was right in the middle of it, really firing up her team. And it's just interesting to see a second-year player from Florida, who Tim Walton raved about her leadership in her final season there, start to become that now as a professional.
Right out of the gates. Wanted to say, I want to be the one. I want to lead this team. Look to me. You can count on me. It's not easy to do with a bunch of veterans that are on the teams as well.
Ooh. Foul ball from Corey McMillan. This is a rookie from Greensboro, North Carolina. Couple hits in the series so far. The ACC Player of the Year at Virginia Tech, hit 31 home runs that led the nation. Two to McMillan. Off the handle and on the infield for Aguilar. That'll do it for the first inning. Thank you for joining us on this fine Tuesday evening in Rosemont, Illinois. The AUSL coming your way all the way to the end of August. The championship of this regular season, though, will come your way at the end of July in Tuscaloosa. Tori Vidalis at the plate, takes the first 2 pitches and jumps ahead 2-0. You mentioned it right off the top, but Tori got here the day of the first game. Came on the same plane you did from Oklahoma City from the Women's College World Series, where she was working for the SEC Network. Didn't play that day, but then in her first at-bat of the season on day 2, hit a home run. This one stays in play. Wallace with nice range for out number 1. We've got Tori mic'd up. We'll get to talk to her live in the field coming up later in this game.
And in case anybody was wondering, that was not a private plane that we were on the same plane. You seemed like we were just on the same plane randomly together. Commercial, not private. But if anybody wants to fly us private next time, you just let us know. We'll take it.
We got to get that built in next year.
Put in the contract.
Who else was on that plane with you? Jess Mendoza was on that?
Jess Mendoza, Marty Abazetian, an umpire. And then some other in our ESPN crew. It's a packed plane.
0-1 deep to left field. Look at this go. Back and caught at the wall. Wow. I think everybody in the building thought that was gone, but Nichols Camarena Nice and easy at the wall.
Off the bat, it looked great. Looked like a curveball that just hung up and out over the plate, and Hannah flipped it, just recognized that mistake and got a lot of it. But again, this wind is what held it up in the air. It's blowing toward right field, thinking it was going to sneak over Bubba's head, but she catches it at the wall. And this wind right now is a pitcher's best friend. But very soon, it could very well turn to be a pitcher's worst nightmare.
18-mile-per-hour gusts, and at the time of that ball going in the air, it was a straight across the field, basically from the left foul pole to the right foul pole. Which did not do Hannah Flippin any favors. McMillan underneath that. 6 up, 6 down for Odyssey Alexander and the Bandits.
That's a great part about Stacy, is that she can really identify with the offensive part as well as the pitching part, as she's actually the pitching coach for the Bandits. She's a longtime catcher.
Driven to center field and down, bouncing off the wall. Devin nets around first and cruises into second with a double.
It's just the second inning, and we've only had a few right-handed hitters up, but you can just tell that the righties are seeing the ball well out of the hand of Mariah Lopez, and she's just not getting her curveball in on their hands enough. Devin Nets recognizes that pitch out over the plate, keeps her hands inside of it, and drives it right back up the middle of the field as Sierra Sacco was more shaded toward left center field, opened up a big hole in center, and extra bases for Devin Nets.
Devin Nets missed the 2024 season at Arizona with a back injury and then returned this year, had a career year at the plate and in the circle as a two-way player for Caitlin Lowe and company in Tucson. Big 12 Player of the Year, second team All-American. There's a little discussion at home plate. Don't see any changes, though, occurring on the field. It's going to be Delaney Wiz at the dish with a runner in scoring position and nobody out. Wiz and Newman-Denise go way back. 2 years at San Diego State underneath Stacy Newman-Denise on that staff. There is going to be a pinch runner. It's Kelly Torres. Her first year out of Duke. A 4-year starter there, helped them to their first ever Women's College World Series in 2024 as a senior. Wiz swinging first pitch, fouls it down the right field line.
Yeah, both the hard hits so far have been up the middle of the field. The home run by Bubba and then the double by Devin Nets, and even Skylar Wallace's hit was well struck, and it was up the middle of the field. Bandits seeing the ball well out of her hand right now, and it's going to be up to her to get her curveball more in on the righty's hands.
It was the first swing at a first pitch by any player tonight on either team in these first couple innings. Two and one.
Hear the wind and the microphone still. I mean, it is just whipping around. And as an outfielder, you constantly have to be communicating with each other on the infield as well about what the wind is doing at this point in time. Just be turning around and looking at the flagpole and seeing, is it blowing out? Is it blowing toward right field? The other day it was blowing toward left field. You just never know here.
This is into the outfield, right center field. Long run for Jacobson, who can't haul it in. Sacco has it. Around comes Torres, and she will score. It'll go down as a triple for Delaney Wiz.
You can tell, like Savannah Collins was saying about the Bandits and their swings, and Stacy Newman's message is that they are selling out. They are swinging early in the count and driving pitches that are out over the plate. Caroline Jacobson looked like she had called it. Sierra Sacco backed off but couldn't get to it. And because it's hit more toward the right side in that gap, Delaney Wiz hustled on over to third base for another triple. And Torres is easily going to score from second base. And all of a sudden, the Bandits are up by 2 runs and striking the ball well early in this game.
They won the opener, lost game 2, 6-3. Come out with a different mentality tonight, and we will have a different pitcher as well for the Talons. Montana Fouts, her second season out of Grayson, Kentucky, the former Alabama superstar, to switch things up for the Talons in the circle. We've already seen her twice this year, Amanda. She's looked really good. A 2.80 ERA and 5 innings of work. Had the save in game 2 as well.
Yeah, you could tell that they've been leaning on her a lot with the absence of Megan Fremo and Georgina Korig, who will be on this Talons pitching staff, not with the team as of just yet, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. But Montana Fouts is getting a lot of pitching time. Of course, she was a 4-time All-American at Alabama. Saw her last year play in the AUX season, and she has looked strong. Got the start in game 1, got the save in game 2, and now here they are relying on her to try to bridge to another pitcher to end the game. And what she was doing so well is just throwing her curveball and drop ball off of the plate. Really good late break, not missing much on the plate, getting hitters to chase off. I mean, look at the location of these pitches. They're not over the heart of the plate, really working the edges, about a ball off of the plate. Trying to see what she can get called by the umpire. 55% of the time she was throwing curveballs. So, or up to this point in the game 1 and in game 2, 23% of the time throwing drops. And this is great. Didn't know we had this graphic, but I'm loving all the data that we're getting with AUSL and being able to see all of this data from these professional players moving forward.
One of the things we heard from a lot of players leading up to this too, because in the past seasons of Athletes Unlimited, the championship season with the leaderboard, there were no coaches. And one of the things these players talked about was how excited they are to be coached again. I think our interest is heavily on how these pitching staffs are going to be used. First pitch swinging to Jordan Roberts for strike 1. Roberts, a veteran catcher at Florida, really known for what she can do behind the plate. It certainly has power offensively as well. All 3 hits today have been extra bases, a home run, double, and a triple.
And with how well the Talons swung the bat in game 2, they had 12 hits, scored 6 runs. If you're the Bandits, runner at third base, less than 2 outs, you really want to try to push across this run. Talons have a great offensive lineup, can score very quickly, as we saw in game 2.
Roberts lifts it to left field, carrying, and gone! There's that power from Jordan Roberts.
The Bandits right now are just getting their barrels to so many of these pitches. That was about 2 balls off of the plate. How did she keep her hands inside? That looked to be like a screwball, a drop ball in the inner half. I don't even know how she kept this fair, but she did, and it went a mile. In fact, 74 miles an hour off of the bat, and I would say it went, I don't know, we had to make up a distance because it didn't register here, but 277 feet. That's an Amanda's distance. That's not the real distance, but she got all of that.
I feel like we've talked about your estimation abilities in the past, and I don't think you are confident in them, but I'm here for it.
I'm confident that that went really far, even against the wind.
Yes.
That was trying to knock it down. My goodness.
It's her first hit of the season. If you talk to Jenny Dalton-Hill about their roster construction, we got to the catchers, and the one player that the Bandits are missing is Mia Davidson, superstar catcher from Mississippi State, finishing up her professional season in Japan right now. But they talked about Roberts' ability to call a game. really like her from a defensive standpoint.
Tricky, I can't believe that Jordan Roberts was able to keep this pitch fair, because when you look at the pitch location, it's a 1-2 pitch, a pitcher's count. It's not terrible. Look at where Palacios sets up. And this is on the chalk line. Maybe it could be a little bit more inside, but my goodness, that was a tight pitch on the inner half, and she still got her barrel to it and impressively kept it fair.
Savannah Collins has Jordan Roberts.
Okay, Jordan, the booth is shocked. You were able to keep that ball fair. It was tight on you. Did it feel like it in the box?
Absolutely. I was literally just reacting, and I'm so glad I got my barrel to it.
Plan going in, coach emphasized it a lot. Everybody having a plan, sticking to it. What was yours?
Honestly, I was looking for something outside, and I was trying to get that early. My plan didn't really go how I wanted it to. Got 2 strikes, but I really just in that moment was trusting myself that I can hit anything.
I don't think you're getting any complaints on a home run. Thanks, Joe.
Sometimes plans change.
Sometimes plans change. Adjustability at its finest, especially when you have 2 strikes, and you don't get to be picky and choosy. You got to go with what they give you, and she got a screwball in the inner half, and she got all of it.
Called strike 1 against Morgan, or strike 2 against Morgan Zirkle on the inside half. 2-2 count, back to the top of the order for the Bandits, who have already jumped out to a 4-0 lead. Largest lead by either team in this series. Zirkle goes down looking.
Good job of Montana Fouts. Couple of quick outs after giving up that home run. This time on a curveball. Great location on the inner half. Palacios sticks it, and Zirkle freezes. 2 strikeouts on the day for Zirkle after getting a hit in each of the first 2 games.
Two away for Skylar Wallace. Wallace from Woodstock, Georgia. Started her career at Alabama, spent 2 years there in 2019 and 2020, overlapping with Montana Fouts. And then finished her career when she exploded onto the scene at Florida. Two and one. Wallace, one of 13 players in this AUSL player pool that will be with Team USA at the World Games in China in August. 11 on the active roster, 2 as alternates. Very well could be a player who is suiting up in 2028 at the Olympic Games.
A little bit bigger of a strike zone here that you'll notice in the AUSL. College strike zone this season, I'm not gonna lie, it felt tight, real tight.
Skied into between a couple rookies. Emily Kennedy has entered the circle for Odyssey Alexander, and Bree Ellis, the USA Softball Collegiate Player of the Year. Already 3 walks for Ellis this season, which gives her 72 in the calendar year between 69 at Arkansas and 3 here as a pro already. Ooh. Up and in at Ellis from Kennedy.
That'll wake you up. 70 on the left-hand side, right over your head. Like a Bree's little smirk about that too.
Well, half swing by Ellis. Not what you're used to from Bree Ellis, but it'll work. Strike 1 to Sydney Romero. Emily Kennedy making her debut for the Bandits tonight. Best year in college Probably came back in 2023, a sub-2 ERA that year. It was up to 3.2 this year, but she's so effective. They really like her as a lefty. That's smoked into left field, smothered by Bubba Nichols-Camarena. Someone you're very familiar with, played at your alma mater. You got to deliver her golden ticket to her, but what can she do as a pro?
She'll throw hard from the left-hand side, hitting 70 miles an hour, and then also work rise ball, drop ball, and mix in a changeup. And unfortunately for her, she doesn't throw that changeup a ton. Threw a good one to Brielis, check swing for a hit to get this inning started. I like to see her throwing that early in her outing.
Talked to Emily the other day before the season started and talked about her long-term goal, wants to make the USA team. Something that's on her mind, has become really close with Lexi Kilfoyle on this Bandits staff, who's another player who has aspirations of Team USA. She's an alternate for the World Games, Kilfoyle is. Kennedy gets her first lefty-lefty matchup with Jadalyn Alchin. Off the handle, up the middle, and poked away. Nice play over to third. Heads up from Erin Koffel.
I'm laughing because she could have just gone the short way to second base, and instead Koffel decided to go to third. Looks like Howard Dobson is going to challenge this, but off of Skylar Wallace to Erin Koffel. And I'm curious if Delaney Wiz actually went down for the tag, but this is a force play, and so I don't know if her foot was on the base, and Howard Dobson looked like communicating with Hayward that she may have missed the tag. So I don't think her foot was on the base and she missed the tag.
And we will have a review. It's Jim Cooper, Scott Mayer calling balls and strikes tonight. John Schaefer, our first base umpire.
Really athletic play, though, by Erin Koffel, because she definitely would have had her if Delaney Wiz's foot was just on the back. But it just also was a weird developing play, too, where you may have forgotten that there was a force at third base, but Erin Koffel with a great throw to third to get the lead out.
Just wonder possibly maybe Wiz looked away from it to go to third base and didn't see if the bag was tagged at second, but just spitballing ideas.
Right, yeah, no, I know. I'm trying to figure it out too. And important here that the call on the field was out. So there will have to be enough evidence to definitively say that she got there safely.
She just tagged the base, didn't she?
Right, she did tag the base with the glove, yep. Correct, yeah, so her foot doesn't even matter, you're right. Good call. You just don't see what happened there very often at all. And Howard Dobson seemed confident that she was safe. Happened right in front of him. He was like the second umpire over there at third base.
He was right that she missed the tag on the body. It just got the base instead. Here's some Bandits cheers from the crowd.
Another sold-out crowd, Chucky. This has been unbelievable. Standing room only. This place is packed, even in the outfield.
Well, these fans get the call.
To review, the call at third is upheld. The runner is out. That's the Talons' first challenge.
One challenge remaining for the Talons. Same rules as college softball with regards to 2 challenges for each team. And then after the 6th inning begins, the umpires may initiate a review as well.
So we're going 6, 4, 5, fielder's choice?
Yes. Just
all right.
Usually get a few of those.
Just your everyday run-of-the-mill 6, 4, 3 or 6, 4, 5.
You know, back to the top of the order, the dangerous Sierra Sacco. Still a tough spot here for Kennedy. Off the handle from Sacco. Wallace tracks it down easily. Another jam job on the lefty.
Yeah, there hasn't, you know, Emily Kennedy needed that out at third base. There has not been a lot of luck that has gone her way. The Brielis check swing hit, the line drive out to left field that just landed in front of Bubba, and then she really needed that out, or else it would have been more bad luck, and turn that right into a second quick out here.
Big swing from Palacios to foul it straight back. We saw Charlize's sister, Sachelle, when we were walking in tonight, along with another former pro, Abby Ramirez. Charlize is wearing that number 13 for her older sister, who retired after last summer. Both runners in scoring position. Bounced into Roberts' ball too.
I'd like to see her throwing that changeup a little bit more already in her pro debut. Mixing that in a bit more.
3-1 now to Palacios. You got a lefty on deck. How careful are you here with Sachelle in this count, or excuse me, Charlize in this count?
Well, Charlize has been seeing the ball very well. You could tell too with that big hack that she took at the first pitch, fouled it straight back. But Emily Kennedy, whether you're righty or lefty, tough to hit against with her speed, and she's not scared to go inside to either.
And
It's a crazy 24 hours. We had a late show, game 3 of the World Series. Yes! And then Amanda and I were actually on the same flight to Rosemont, bright and early, 7:30 a.m. Landed around 10, straight to the hotel, dropped all my baggage off with all of my nice clothes that I won't see again until next spring. And then straight to my physical. Good pitch, and then straight to the field to start warm-ups. I was a little bit behind, but I was able to make it for first pitch, so that was really awesome. It was a big day for our sport.
Drew, what was it like doing World Series stuff and also trying to prep for season, like broadcasting and also prepping for season?
It was great. I mean, it's always hard. You know, you've got a lot of things going on. You have a lot of places that hold your attention, but I think a lot of it comes before postseason even starts, just because I know personally how crazy postseason can get with travel and games and everything else we've got going on in life. But yeah, Tan. But I forgot the question, sorry.
How did you balance?
Oh yeah, how did I balance?
Yeah.
A lot of it during the week was workouts and trainings. You gotta stay ready, so you don't gotta get ready. Yeah, Tana. Good.
Tori, after the AUSL inaugural draft, you have your team, you know your coach, your GM. What was that preparation like? How much communication was there from that point to the last 10 days when kind of training camp started?
Yeah, actually, not a ton, right? I feel like there is a certain expectation. Good! Right, we're all pros here, so we're expected to take care of our own business. There was no specifics of like things that we had to do, but of course, you know, having phone calls, chatting about what expectations are this summer from every individual player. So Coach Lisa and I got on the phone. We talked about, you know, what this summer would look like for me specifically. See you, Shar. And, you know, she just told me, hey, I'm going to rely on you a lot to be like the voice, like one of the voices of the team, someone who has a pulse on the players, not necessarily like captain, right? You get so caught up in like having a C on your jersey and all these things, but there's a lot of different ways to lead. Hey, long strike, long strike. And so I'm taking pride in my role and just understanding that, you know, I'm social, you guys know. I'm a yapper, so I try to make everybody feel comfortable and just make sure everybody feels seen and like welcomed, especially the rookies, making sure the transition is pretty smooth. That's been my role so far, and I've really been enjoying it because we learn from each other no matter what, no matter how old you are, you never know everything about the game.
Tori mentioned Coach Lisa. That's Lisa Fernandez, of course, one of the legends of the sport, the Talons general manager. Were you excited? I saw in a lot of player questionnaires before the season. I'm excited to be coached again. Is that, do you fall in that category?
Yes, absolutely. Like even at BP, like today, early this morning, we came and hit with Howard Dobson, our head coach, and even just him standing behind us and being like, hey, let your barrel release, like let your barrel lead you. Those little reminders are the most important sometimes. I think we're gonna get a little timeout here.
We'll turn you off. We're down.
Yeah, Tana.
Tori Vidalis mic'd up in the field right now. Montana Fouts in the circle. Back-to-back walks to lead off this third inning. Corey McMillan now stud from
Sid, got you.
Virginia Tech at the plate.
Really quick, in a bunt situation like this, and a power hitter like Corey McMillan, I noticed you're playing in front of the bat. Like, how are you positioning yourself right now with her power, pull power?
Well, I know that this is likely a bunt situation. She does have a lot of power, but I have to make her beat me. Here we go. There we go. So she usually gets one strike, and then she has to lay it down. She doesn't get it there, but I'd rather her hit it past me than bunt right in my face. So you got to be a little crazy to play the corners, yeah?
True story.
Yeah, Tana. Touch it, hit me. Good.
Tori, before we let you go, break down Montana.
Got you.
Break down Montana Fouts' game for us real quick.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny because she's so intense during like the game. But off the field, she's so smiley and fun to be around. We're cracking jokes, getting everything going, but she's just laser focused. Like, she's on the mission all the time. Like, she's just focused on what she has to do in that moment. She wants to be the one to have the ball. I really respect that about her, and she wants to win. She's gonna do whatever it takes to win, and as a defense behind her, we're with her every pitch. Good, Montana! Hey, that's a big out. Good job.
Tori, always appreciate your time. We're going to listen in a little bit the rest of this inning. We appreciate it.
All right, thanks, guys. Give us some good juju.
Tori Vidalis, such great perspective on the game, and if you get that as an elite player, but really a student, you can tell, of hitting and of the sport in general, and then now she's had the television headset on as an analyst, and she sees the game from that side.
Tori has a lot of different talents. Like, she can make you laugh and kind of cut up and keep things loose, but then she's really competitive and clutch in the most important moments on her team, especially when she's up to bat and what she can do defensively. So she's just really dynamic. I mean, she was involved in a lot when she was in high school, not just playing softball all the time. Like, she was involved in a lot of different things. Like, I think the best word for her is dynamic, not just as an athlete, but as a person.
Three-year captain on her high school volleyball team. A regional champion diver.
Yeah, I was going to say, we should have asked her about her diving. You have any more hobbies over there?
I believe there might have been an issue with the re-entry of Devin Netz, that she never re-entered the game officially. She is now stepping up to the plate. So there's explanations going around currently. Devin Netz is like, man, I just want to hit.
Mm-hmm. Our umpires do have microphones, so that anything wacky that happens, they can explain it to us, hopefully. Love the microphones with the umpires. Thankful for them.
Everything's sorted out, and we're ready to go. First and second, 1 out, a 4-run Bandits lead here in the bottom of the third. The rookie Devin Netz out of Arizona. Two and one.
Tana trying to work that off-speed pitch a little bit more too. These hard-throwing pitchers come from college to play pro, and they can kind of skate by without it at the college level, but you have to have an off-speed pitch here. It's a good pitch there, curveball right at the knees. That is a pitcher's pitch and a hitter's count.
In the bottom of the order, getting the job done for the Bandits. 6, 7, 8, 3 for 3, all extra base hits, 3 RBIs. Right side off the foot of Vidalis. Aguilar tried to backhand flip it, the throw home, and they do get it out. We have seen some absurd defensive sequences tonight. And now 2 outs, first and second. Talons and Montana Fouts potentially getting out of this inning without a run. Taylor McQuillan also pleading her case from the Bandits dugout.
Number 97, Delaney Wiz.
Always Montana Fouts fans wherever you go.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, that was an incredible play and much needed, too. The Bandits have scored in back-to-back innings. Talons need to put up a 0 here to get some momentum back on their side, try to get back into this game and get some offensive momentum going from their defense.
Two 2-0 now to Delaney Wiz, who had the RBI triple and came around to score in the second inning. Wiz didn't get all of it out to left field, caught by Alchin, and Montana Fouts, after back-to-back walks to lead off the inning. Strand come next Monday. All of these teams will have played a quarter of their season, which is hard to believe. There's a 2-week break built in for international play from June 23rd to July 7th. Come back after that, and it's rapid fire. A couple weeks of softball all the way to the championship series in Tuscaloosa. Four teams in the inaugural season. These teams don't have home bases. The expectation is the league will expand to 6 teams next year, and they will all have homes around the United States. As Aguilar pops out to start off the inning. Well, this is the 46th consecutive year the College World Series is on ESPN. The 8-team double elimination format begins Friday in Omaha, Nebraska. Arizona against Coastal Carolina at 2 Eastern. Louisville takes on Oregon State at 7 Eastern. Both games also available on ESPN Plus, so you can watch anywhere. No teams from last year's College World Series made it this year. First time since 1957. Oh, off the glove of Koffel at second. Base hit for Vidalis. How incredible is that, though? None of the teams from last year back in Omaha.
I feel like that truly never happens, and I'm thinking back to 1957, but softball Women's College World Series back then. Deep history in baseball, and our sport is just still fairly young.
Well, we talked about it too when you think back on the history of college softball, and I was like, well, that's probably never happened. You think about the dynasties that you've seen and the programs who have been so prominent for so long in the different eras of college softball. Fresno State, UCLA.
Yeah.
Into Arizona's dominance, and now Oklahoma.
And our sport is just building and building, especially in the month of May and beginning here of June. I mean, it's just been one headline after another. I said this during the World Series, but it's like I couldn't even keep up with how many things were happening. I'd go on X and I'd see this announcement or this celeb or this athlete tweeting about softball, and Nyjah Kennedy signing her $2 million deal. I mean, that was another headline during the World Series. Their NIL deal at Texas Tech. But just so much more than one player.
Kennedy couldn't get the call on the outside corner to Flippin, who's 0 for 1 tonight. 2-2 count coming up with Vidalis on first base. And the Talons in desperate need of run production.
Like it could have easily been a strike. I think call goes in the way of Hannah Flippin, who has been swinging a hot bat coming off a couple of doubles in game 2 on Sunday.
Flippin works back in the count and draws the 1-out walk. It's been a busy couple weeks in the softball world. You could go back a month to the start of regionals, but it's just been all positive. That MLB announcement of the strategic investment into this league, into the AUSL, has been incredible. The most watched Women's College World Series in history, and we have had 4 sellouts on this opening weekend, all 3 days here in Rosemont. Popped up for Jordan Roberts, 2 outs.
Yeah, and that MLB announcement came on opening day at the Women's College World Series. So there was already so much excitement around the sport on day one at the Women's College World Series in Oklahoma City. And then that announcement came out, and it just felt like it built and built and built, and more people were watching. And is Oklahoma going to win 5 in a row? And it just led to record viewership at the Women's College World Series, including our most watched NCAA college softball game in history, which was Game 3 between Texas Tech and Texas.
Bree Ellis fouls that pitch up and in back for strike 1.
Numbers are just unbelievable. There was a game between Tennessee and UCLA that was on ABC. It peaked at 4 million people. Not the average, but it peaked. Look at the average over all 15 games, over 1 million. That finals Game 3 between Texas and Texas Tech averaged 2.4 million. It peaked at 2.7. And that wasn't even, I mean, let's be honest, like that Game 3 wasn't even a great game. And that's, imagine what it would have been if it was a 1-run, 2-run game like most of the Women's College World Series games were this year in 2025. It would have been over 3, I want to say.
Ellis goes down looking. So Kennedy bounces back now, and the Talons bats have still been silenced through 4. Or they will enter a rookie from Elmhurst, Illinois, just down the road from the University of Michigan, Lauren Durkowski, who is making her 2nd appearance of the weekend, went 3 innings, gave up 5 hits and 3 runs in her debut. An industrial and operations engineering major from Michigan.
Excited to watch her throw again, her 2nd appearance, and she'll work a curveball, changeup, rise ball, and also spot a fastball.
She will face 8-9-1 in this Bandits lineup. Jordan Roberts hit a 2-run home run in her first at bat tonight. Durkowski has been selected out of the reserve player pool, which these teams can do if they are missing players for any reason. The Talons are missing more than anybody else. They have 4 players who are finishing up their professional seasons in Japan right now. 2 of them are pitchers, and their top 2 picks in the inaugural draft, Megan Faremo, who's been a staple for Team USA recently, and Georgina Korick, who's a former National Pitcher of the Year. So they are missing huge pieces in opening weekend. Nice off speed from Durkowski. That was just strike 2, but just for practice, they throw down to first.
I feel like
strike 3.
Everybody's so confused. The only one that was not confused was Charlize Palacios, I think, because she knew that was a drop third strike, throw to 1. So strikeout of the home run hitter. Jordan Roberts getting her on the changeup.
Bunt laid down by McKinney, bare hand by Romero. Nice play by Sid Romero from her spot at 3rd.
Good job of reading the hands by Sid Romero. Is playing a little bit in front of the bag, but bare hands it, quickly gets rid of it. No wasted movement at all for that quick out with McKinney's speed. That was a great play.
Quick 2 outs for Durkowski, back to the top of the order in Morgan Zirkle.
Be surprised to see Morgan Zirkle looking to hit early in the count after a couple of strikeouts in her first 2 plate appearances.
Left side, Romero's there again. Staying busy over at 3rd. Durkowski trying to inject a little energy into this Talons lineup with a rapid-fire 7-pitch inning. With her, she's already had a great start, starting the opener, 4 innings, allowed just 1 run, and picked up the first win in AUSL history.
Picked up where she left off, finishing last summer, where she just had such a breakout summer as a pro. She had a great finish to her college career as well, where she became the ace of the Oklahoma State staff. It always had pitched behind someone, Montana Fouts, Kelly Maxwell at Oklahoma State, and then finally she was the ace. And I mean, boy, did she just relish in that role as a top 3 finalist for National Player of the Year.
8-9-1 Kilfoyle, and there's one out. We're joined now by the head coach of the Bandits, Stacey Newman-Denise. Coach, these first 10 to 14 days, how much has it been just about kind of learning your team? We see another pitching change here. What's these first couple weeks been like?
You know, we don't have a long runway to learn our staff, to learn our personality and our personnel. So we want to see a lot of different looks right now and just kind of figure out what combination of our pitching staff is going to work in the best kind of concert together. So, you know, we've got great options. We've got great pitchers individually, but if we can be really smart and creative how we mix and match and put them against the right part of the lineup of the other team, I mean, that's going to serve us well in the long run as we face the same team over and over and over again all season long.
Stacey, talking about working with your staff, what are the differences or similarities between working with your college staff versus a pro staff that you've learned up to this point?
Well, I mean, these are the best of the best, and they all are elite in multiple things, you know, right? Like my staff in college, they're really good in maybe 1 or 2 pieces or 1 or 2 quadrants of the zone. But for these, you know, these athletes and these pitchers, they got it all going on, and they've got offs. Everyone's got an off-speed pitch, just a lot of weapons to work with. So that's where it's being smarter in terms of how they set things up, you know, and not just it's the dance, right? It's the chess game of, you know, their good stuff against this hitter's weaknesses, things like that. So they're professionals, not only in their skill set, but also just in their mindset. And it's been really fun to get to know them and their personalities and, you know, challenge them a little bit, but also get them feeling good. That's really the magic sauce for a coach, is a little bit of both, right? Let them feel like they're cared about and they're but also being pushed at the same time. So, you know, our 10 days of spring training was pretty tough. Like we didn't take it easy on them. We definitely challenged them, and they were whining a little bit in parts of it. But I think in the long run they were happy with that because they want to feel ready. They wanted to feel prepared to come in and play this team and just you know, again, there's not a lot of time. You've got to start out hot, and if you start out hot, that's going to set you up for the short 24-game season really nicely.
Love it, Coach. Thanks for the time as always.
Thank you.
Stacey Newman-Denise has been in professional softball and softball at its highest level, having success at its highest level forever, going back to her days as the UCLA Bruin, where she was a 4-time All-American and then a 3-time Olympian. She was the youngest player on the 2000 team, as a longtime assistant at San Diego State, and then now as the head coach at San Diego State. Took them to their first ever Super Regional in 2023. But when the pro game is called, whether it was the NPF, one of the old iterations of the Professional Softball League, or Athletes Unlimited before the AUSL, she has always answered that call.
Just so well respected in our sport for what she did as a player at all the different levels, for what she continues to do as a coach collegiately, and then now again professionally. So much respect for Stacey Newman from her peers. More. I've seen a lot of things I want.
Hint, hint to whoever's listening out there.
No.
Couple Bruins at the plate right now. Palacios catching, Bubba Nichols, Camarena hitting. They did not cross paths as players, but Bubba is an assistant coach full-time at UCLA now. Last year in Charlize's senior season, she was a GA for the team. 2-0. There's strike one. A lot of Bruins represented in the AUSL. Runner goes, Palacios throwing down. Wallace has her first stolen base.
was a perfect throw by Palacios and just such a smooth, quick tag by Hannah Flippen. But the speed of Skylar Wallace is going to get her there. Straight into the bag. I mean, that tag was on her. It looked like Hannah Flippen, too, communicated to the dugout saying, nope, she got in. It's not challenge.
I do feel like there's a responsibility on the players, because we just see, like, for instance, in basketball, it's the finger in the air waving in circles, like review everything. But there's a finite amount of these reviews going around. You got to be honest as a player.
Oh, I thought that may have even been a strike on the pitch. There was a check swing. Rakowski doesn't get the call. Good eye by Bubba. Was with her curveball away from Bubba. Has a little bit of up to it as well. It's close. I thought the pitch was potentially going to be called, and I think that she did hold.
Palacios thought about throwing behind Nichols Camarena at first. She did that to Wallace and wasn't too far off. Erin Koffel has reached both times, hit by pitch and walked. A couple extra base hits already in the first 2 games of the season. Tough spot for Durkowski, behind in the count and nobody out. Three and 0. It's the off speed in the zone for strike 1.
Tell me you have confidence in your changeup without saying it out loud. 3-0 pitch, you throw your changeup. That's a pitch you have a ton of confidence in. Get you back into the count, throw it for a strike.
Desperately needs an out here. Back-to-back walks after the Wallace leadoff single.
Right fielder, number 2.
And Chafin, who had a great appearance in her debut in Game 2 at a Mississippi State.
An opportunity here with Corey McMillan at the plate. A lot of double play opportunities, so you could roll your infield, a ground ball, get a couple of quick outs, and one pitch would be huge with the bases loaded.
Durkowski ahead 0-2. First bases loaded situation of the season for the Bandits, and it was the nation's home run leader, Corey McMillan, who gets a chance. In a pitcher's count. Wallace, Nichols, Camarena, and Koffel on the bases. This would be the winning run for the Bandits. Same run rule as college softball, 8 after 5. Off the end. Awkward spinner for Romero. Nothing she could do with it. That had a ridiculous amount of spin off the bat of McMillan.
Right off the end of the bat with this changeup. Crazy spin to it, and so much spin that I think it ended up spinning off of out of Sydney's glove when it hit it. Play at that point.
Seven pitches last inning for Durkowski. He's thrown 16 in this inning, has not recorded an out, and she will exit with the bases loaded and the winning run on first base. That did go down as an error on Sydney Romero over at third base. So Chafin comes in, bases loaded, nobody out, and what a special moment it was for Raylan Chafin. After her teammate at Mississippi State got her golden ticket, she got hers.
So had surgery,
It's a pop-up into shallow center. Great catch by Flippin. And one out.
Had surgery, had a 4-week recovery period, and then spent weeks at home, and then went back to Starkville and gradually got back into playing. But this is a young lady who had the best year of her college career this past season after being diagnosed with thyroid cancer, having it removed, being able to recover, became the ace of Mississippi State staff, had an unbelievable season, and then got drafted to be a professional softball player. That has been less than a year for all of that for Raylan Chafin, and now here she is pitching for the Talons.
We got to talk to her earlier this year before one of their series, and really appreciative of the support she got from that program led by Sam Ricketts. She developed a very close relationship with Mississippi State's pitching coach and the Arizona legend Taryn McKinney. And here she is, fresh off her debut a couple days ago, went 3 innings, gave up 1 hit and struck out 2 batters, was fantastic, trying to get out of a jam. Just foul from Delaney Wiz.
And she was a big advocate for trying to let AUSL know that Sierra Sacco would be a great fit for the AUSL. And so she was putting herself out there and was talking all about Sierra Sacco and how amazing she is and how she should be drafted, and then turn right back around, and then she's also getting drafted, and they're on the same team.
Bounces the 1-2 pitch in. Led the SEC this year with 23 wins. 10 SEC wins is a Mississippi State record for a pitcher. Wiz fouls another one up and out of play. Inside ball 3.
The Bandits have just had such good at-bats tonight. It has looked to me like they've been on a mission offensively. Scored in 3 different innings, scored 4 runs in the first 2 innings. Coming out on firing.
Chafin walks a run in. Wiz will take first base. Tough spot for the Talons tonight after bouncing back really strongly in game 2 to beat the Bandits 6-3.
And I think too, like, if you're in the Bandits position, you have a chance to take this series from the Talons without, especially if they're down Megan Framo, they're down Georgina Corrick. You have to take advantage of being up 6-0 against this team that's down a couple of ace-type pitchers. You want to win this series.
Just never know how important that could be come mid-July when we're tracking the standings.
Exactly.
Potential tiebreakers. Pinch hitter at the plate for the Bandits, Bella Dayton. Native of Wiley, Texas, played her college ball at Arizona for a couple of years, and then moved on to the University of Texas, where she went to 3 Women's College World Series. Heading to count 2-0. This is into shallow center field. It's going to get down. Another run comes across, and it is 7-0 Bandits. Dayton will take it, an RBI single.
Tough hits off the Talons pitchers in this AB, just in this inning, that have just been mishits that have had eyes off the end of the bat, one to third base, and then now this one off the end of Bella Dayton's bat in front of Sierra Sacco, who has so much speed but just can't get there.
.46 miles per hour off the bat.
Scorcher. Goodness. now. Winning run just at third base with the run roll. Big opportunity here for the Bandits. Save their pitcher's arms to have to pitch the 6th and the 7th.
Sydney McKinney, ground ball, that's going to do it. The first run roll in AUSL history belongs to the Bandits, and they take the opening weekend series over the Talons with an 8-0 victory.
I felt like offensively the Bandits were just on a mission tonight. Came through with runners in scoring position, came through with runners on. I mean, just had great at-bats, took their walks, knew what they were looking for early in the count. When they got it, they attacked. Just a great offensive display by the Bandits and used their pitching staff well throughout the game.
What a weekend for the sport of softball. The AUSL's